Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from Group 7. This is my group mates. Our company is TRC Synergy Berhad. Today, we're going to present about what we have done for this assignment. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Saiful Aiman bin Abdul Majid. My metric number 264239. Today, I will present about the introduction. So, since 2002, TRC Synergy Berhad has been a publicly listed investment holding company on the main board of the Bursa Malaysia Securities Berhad. Tan Sri Datuk Sri Sufri Haji Muhammad Zain, the founder of TRC Synergy Berhad, has started the company in 1984. Construction, property development, and the hospitality are all the businesses that the company engaged in through its subsidiaries. Most of the company profit is come from the construction division, while the others is come from the property development and hospitality. Their mission is to be a leading construction company in the region for buildings and civil engineering works by completing projects on time, within budget, and excel with the quality, safety, health, and environment.
Thank you, Saiful. I will continue the presentation. My name is Nuradiana binti Syakimi. My metric number 264973. The first issue is emergence of Industry Revolution 4.0. Industry Revolution 4.0 is the concept of digitalization of industrial process to accomplish the production by introducing digital technology, intelligent machine, and smart material to the construction company, where IBM acts as a central place for collecting digital information about a project and service network. According to Alalul 2020, the emergence of Industry Revolution 4.0 will impact the construction industry in terms of global competitiveness and product demand and supply. TRC Synergy can implement the Internet of Things in their system as a digital supply chain. This digital supply chain can act as a monitoring system, inflation in supply demand, and as well as tracking and forecasting. Next. The second issue is competition increase. The increase of competition in the construction industry recently received attention. Due to the entrance of new company into the construction industry, the existing company hardly to maintain their position in the industry. Hence, TRC Synergy Berhad need to gather the latest news about the construction industry, such as the customer demand, and use this trick as a way to improve their company. Besides, the competitiveness among the contractor in bidding the tender give opportunity to the company in selecting the right contractor for the project. TRC Synergy Berhad can have a strong selection process that include the company background check, the past performance, and financial position. Furthermore, the company also need to focus on the research and development in order to achieve the customer demand. Next. The last issue is COVID-19 pandemic. In early 2020, the world have received sudden news about a new contagious disease called as coronavirus disease 2020, or known as COVID-19. COVID-19 pandemic has affected the business and economic environment of all the industry because the industry need to stop their operation due to the restriction by the government. The construction site can be affected by supply chain disruption due to the impact of COVID-19 pandemic. TRC Synergy Berhad should be aware about the consequence and need to take measure in order to minimize the impact. The company should disclose the emergence of COVID-19 pandemic in their risk management statement. That's all from me. I will pass to the next presenter.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Aisyah binti Muhammad Zam. And my metric number is 264379. I will discuss about the risk identification of TRC Synergy Berhad. Okay, for the first one of the risk is the safety and health risk. This can happen because unexpected accident at the construction site, such as horse or crane accident or hazardous substance that may affect the health of the workers. The impact of this risk on the organization, the reputation may be damaged as they did not have a proper ways to handle safety and health of the worker. And then the legal costs that claimed by the workers also increase. For the second risk is the foreign currency exchange risk that happen because of fluctuation of exchange risk. This impact on the company profit before tax, and the company can face lost market share against foreign competitor that did not include transactional exchange rates in their organizational. Second, the impact that can affect TRC sendiri Berhad is cost importing raw material may be higher. The third risk is the natural disaster risk. Natural disaster risk can affect the company because um, because there are disasters that we cannot predict, and such as the storm repair and recovery take time away from planned construction and also commercial work, so it can damage the operational side also. So I will proceed to the next slide. The resources risk. This happens because of shortage in foreign labor force and also raw material. Due to COVID-19 pandemic, there are restrictions that have been implemented by government, such as movement control order and also restriction of entrance of foreign labor into the Malaysia. So the impact of this risk on the organizational is the construction being delayed and also ineffective deployment of appropriate labor, and also TRC synergy may face failure in smooth delivery of raw material. For the fifth risk is the reputation and branding risk. Branding risk is the loss of value in the market. This may impact the performance of the organizational, and also it can harm the long-term profitability of reputation of the TRC synergy. For the last risk is the non-compliance to regulatory requirement risk, because the event is the fails to comply with the standard. There are standards that construction industry need to comply with. For example, ISO 9001 is the standard that the international standard for quality management. So if the TRC synergy did not comply with the standard, it may be penalized and also sued by the government. That's it from me. Thank you.
For the analysis risk, we are using the metric risk. Metric risk is very important tools for a company to understand the risk that the company face and their overall likelihood and impact in a visual ways. It help the company to create a plan for them to face the risk. In the risk metric, we have a likelihood and also impact. Likelihood is refer to the possibility that the risk will occur in the organization. They have three levels, which is improbable, possible, and probable. Next, we have the impact. Impact is the impact of the risk to the organization. Same as the likelihood, there are also three levels, which is the low, moderate, and critical. From the risk metric, we can see that what kind of risk should be treated first. The first risk should be treated is resources risk, as it can have the critical impact, followed by the foreign exchange risk, safety and health risk, non-compliance with regulatory requirement risk, brand and reputation risk, and lastly, natural disaster risk.
Assalamualaikum and hi. My name is Muhammad Syarul Shazmin bin Muhammad Ali Bashar, and my metric number is 264946. Okay, today I will present about appropriate risk response towards the above identified risk. Risk response is commonly referred to as the 4 T's: tolerate, treat, transfer, and terminate. To address the identified risk, TRC Synergy Berhad create appropriate risk response technique based on the likelihood and significance of the risk as risk metrics. So for the first risk, safety and health risk, the risk response is treat or mitigate. The company should educate their employees about their policies, since the employees work in the risky workplace. They also need to ensure the condition of the equipment and machinery. Second risk is foreign currency exchange risk. The risk response is treat or mitigate. In controlling the risk, the company can mitigate through the hedging techniques. For example, the company can use the currency forwards. They can set the specific amount and maturity in the contract with the client. The third risk is natural disaster risk. The risk response is tolerate or accept. TRC Synergy can accept this risk. It is because it involves natural disaster. The risk of natural disaster is not something that can be controlled. The fourth risk is resources risk. The risk response is treat or mitigate. TRC Synergy Berhad can use local workforce instead of foreign labor, and this can indirectly lessen the company's dependence on foreign workers. The fifth risk is reputation and branding risk. The risk response for this risk is treat or mitigate. A media monitoring service is used to monitor and alert the group to any targeted media coverage of the TRC. In addition, a team has been formed to ensure the required and effective reaction to possible reputational concerns. In brief, TRC Synergy Berhad enhance consumer response in dealing with the risk. The sixth risk is non-compliance to regulatory requirement risk. The risk response is treat or mitigate. TRC Synergy Berhad must comply with the regulatory obligation. As a result, the company must decrease or manage this risk. TRC Synergy Berhad is able to guarantee that any new regulatory requirements are understood and quickly adhered to by keeping a high degree of contact with local regulators and authorities. That's all from me. Thank you.
Greetings, my name is Randy Oharana Podokman, metric number 264659. So today I'm going to give a suggestion to improve the effectiveness of management practice. So risk management is essentially a component for every activity done by the company. So this company is TRC Synergy Berhad, was established numerous risk management strategies to control the manage and its risk. So there's a room of improvement in the company risk management process for better and more gratifying outcome or results. So let's move along to the first one, which is always be a query. So when preparing for risk management, the group should always ask questions in order to comprehend and also appreciate the stakeholders' expectation and preservations. As a result, the company may have a better strategies in establishing the company's aims and objective, as the opinions and feedback from the stakeholders assist the company in uncovering difficulties that were previously abandoned and disregarded by the organization. As a consequences, the organization may devise a more specific and sufficient risk management strategies to manage its risk. So the second one is ensure the alignment with internal audit. So the company also should constantly ensure group alignment with internal audit. The chief audit executive should be clear about the contribution that internal audit is expected to be done in order the group objective to be met. Furthermore, the internal control function should be involved as trusted consultants, aiding the creation of company's house rules. The maturity of the rules affects the effectiveness of the internal audit in providing the independent assurance which help to improve the group's risk management actions. So the next one is developing a right and clear culture. So this is one of a good way to improve the effectiveness of risk management practice by the TRC Synergy Berhad, because the company is led by someone who has little interest or tolerance for opposing viewpoints. Negative reaction to unfavorable occurrence, such as blaming each other, may develop. Creating the correct organization culture benefit the company by having clear mindset of view, with the communication with the individual inside the company and bandwidth of allowed deviation and also condition that define the acceptable conduct, as well as vice versa. So let's move along with the next point, which is that the company's regulations are comprehensible and enforced. As we can see, TRC Synergy Berhad should constantly ensure that the company's regulations are comprehensible and enforced inside the company. The company rules are based on various factors, including company culture, regulatory requirement, and management philosophy. However, if the rules are too complicated for the managers to grasp and also communicate to the employees, the organization will have difficulty enforcing them. As a result, having a clear and enforceable standards is vital in strengthening the risk management operations, since the personnel can follow them. So let's move along to the next point, which is the company's objective aligned with RML. TRC Synergy Berhad should keep its company objective in mind. the corporation must evaluate the agendas, aims, and also objective of the business in order to assess and analyze the risks that must be prioritized. This is a basic step in enhancing the company's risk management effectiveness, since the fundamental goals of risk management is to limit risk to an acceptable level so the organization objective may be realized. So the last point that I want to point out is that to recognize the limitation of the risk assessment. Why do I say that? Because the organization must recognize the risk is typically focused on solely on risk management, yet uncertainties or frequent overlook. Risk assessment is linked with restriction. The evaluation must contain items that might aid in the accomplishment of the corporate objective, as well as hazard that could be impact the company's ambitions. This will allow the group to assess the extent to which it have prepared to cope in the future issue.
So I guess that's all from us. Thank you so much.